When the chief auditor of the most high-stakes RICO case in American history is reduced to begging for resumes on LinkedIn while hiring disgraced assets flagged for removal by the state Supreme Court, you aren't just looking at a personnel shortage. You are looking at the total liquidation of institutional credibility in Fulton County.
A Fulton County judge could lose her job after Georgia's judicial watchdog says she broke the law. The Judicial Qualifications Commission says Superior Court Judge Sharmella Williams is facing several misconduct allegations, including improper communication with attorneys, delays on ruling on cases, and using her position to try to influence family court cases involving her uncle and a sorority sister. But the most serious accusation here, jailing a 21-year-old witness during her parents' divorce, even though Judge Williams later admitted she had no legal authority to do so. She told members of the commission that she just wanted to send a message.
I am Camilo Motato, and this is Camilo's House. As a certified public accountant focused on forensic verification, I approach a government office like a distressed entity undergoing a forced restructuring. In a standard financial audit, if you see a resignation surge coupled with a devaluation of hiring standards, specifically the hiring of impaired assets with a history of regulatory breaches, you don't just issue a warning, you perform a full-scale forensic investigation. Today, we are auditing the personnel liquidation of Fani Willis's office.
Well, the commission has recommended her removal to the Georgia Supreme Court. Former Fulton County Assistant District Attorney Daryl Cohen says a recommendation like this is rare and reflects the severity of the accusations.
We have to know as lawyers and as litigants, people in the courtroom, that that judge, male or female, young or old, it doesn't really matter, is above reproach and doesn't have a stake in the case, doesn't care who wins, just wants to follow the law and do the right thing.
Williams does have the opportunity to push back against her removal. She previously told the commission that she believes a suspension would be more appropriate.
We are analyzing the materiality of hiring Sharmella Williams, a judge recommended for removal for jailing witnesses without authority, and the strategic default of a DA who has to use LinkedIn to find passionate prosecutors because her reputational credit score has hit rock bottom. The operational trigger for this latest crisis is the hiring of Sharmella Williams. From an investigative standpoint, Williams is what we call an impaired asset. Just weeks ago, the Judicial Qualifications Commission, JQC, submitted a report to the Georgia Supreme Court recommending her total removal from the bench. The audit trail reveals more than 30 formal counts of material misconduct, including improper ex parte communications and persistent delays in rulings. The smoking gun in her file was the illegal jailing of a 21-year-old witness, Molly Dennis, during a divorce proceeding, an act for which Williams admitted she had no legal authority, but did anyway for shock value. By hiring Williams as a prosecutor on April 6, 2026, Fani Willis is performing a bad debt consolidation. She is taking a delisted legal asset and attempting to refinance her career within the DA's office. For a prosecution team that is supposed to be above reproach, bringing in a disgraced auditor of the law to seek justice creates a material conflict of interest. In the world of forensic integrity, if your auditors have a documented history of ignoring the law to teach lessons, then every case ledger they touch becomes contaminated. It signals that the management culture in Fulton County prioritizes loyalty and desperation over compliance and ethics. This hiring deficit is a direct result of the systemic volatility Fani Willis has engineered. For months, the prestigious Fulton County DA's office has been melting down so fast that Willis has resorted to begging for resumes on LinkedIn. From a human capital audit perspective, this is a total brand devaluation. Top-tier legal assets typically don't find their careers on social media through a plea for passion. They are recruited through institutional reputation and professional stability. By engaging in high-frequency drama and facing disqualification attempts, Willis has made her firm an unmarketable employer. No partner-track attorney wants to invest their equity in an office that might be mass disqualified at any moment. We have to audit the retention ledger of the YSL trial. During that high-volatility proceeding, we saw a massive outflow of senior prosecutors. When a managing director like Willis cannot retain the staff that she has already trained at great expense, the operational cost of the office skyrockets. Every time a senior asset leaves and is replaced by a LinkedIn recruit or a disgraced ex-judge, the quality of the audit suffers a permanent impairment. The knowledge base of the office is being amortized into non-existence. The internal conflict between the DA and the Fulton County Commission is the primary driver of this fiscal insolvency. Willis is demanding capital while being audited for mismanagement. The commission, acting as the board of directors, is looking at a management team that is currently under investigation for lying to the court. In any corporate governance scenario, you don't increase the budget for a department head who is failing their compliance audit. This funding freeze has led to a resource scarcity where Willis is scraping the bottom of the barrel to fill essential seats. My forensic verdict is that the Fulton County DA's office is currently operationally insolvent. You cannot enforce the law with a management team that is recruiting misconduct to audit the public. The hiring of Shermella Williams is a disclosure of desperation, a non-material correction that actually increases the liability of the office. Fani Willis is liquidating her institutional legacy in real time, and the LinkedIn pleas are just the visual confirmation of a failed recruitment strategy. Until the board of the Georgia Supreme Court completes its audit of the DA's conduct, the Fulton County ledger will remain deep in the red. I want to hear from you. Is hiring a disgraced judge a strategic reinvestment or a material breach of fiduciary duty to the taxpayers? Does begging for resumes on LinkedIn prove that the Fulton County brand is reputationally insolvent? Let me know in the comments. Your perspective is the only audit that matters when the integrity of the prosecutor and the solvency of the system are sitting on the negotiation table. I am Camilo Motado, and this is Camilo's House. Subscribe to stay informed on the numbers, the laws, and the truth behind the headlines. Stay safe.